Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to be talking you through a more creative makeup look that I really wanted to recreate, so here we go. First I'm starting by gluing my brows down. I really like to get in there and fluff up the brows with the glue to make sure that they're really stuck down. And then here I'm just taking a spoolie and I'm going to brush my brows up and as flat as possible to the face to make sure that they look natural once they're covered. I normally do about 3 to 5 layers of glue depending on how thick the brow is. My brows aren't usually thick, so I go in with about 3 layers, but you don't want to put too much glue on because it can be harsh and it can start to peel off the under layers. So here I'm just spraying my glue stick with some water. I actually saw this tip on Glow Up and it's supposed to make the top layer really smooth, and you can tell because the glue goes on a lot smoother as well, just so that you can't actually see the lines of the hairs in the overall finished look. And then here I'm using a selection of small pointed brushes paired with the black and white Superstar water-based face paints. So first I'm going in with the white face paint. And I just activate that paint with a bit of water and swirl my brush around till it's nice and creamy. Here I'm just working off reference, and this look is actually inspired by Malachite art from TikTok. I will put the on the screen as I'm saying this. And I'm just drawing a bunch of circles basically with white and blacks and keeping some lines thinner, some lines thicker. I started out copying the reference, and then as we got a bit further along I realised I'd done things a bit too big and I basically just went with it. This look is pretty self-explanatory, but like I said, I really wanted to recreate it. The original look was amazing and I hope you like my one. I know that this video is probably going to get a bit boring, so I'm going to speed up the rest of the line drawing process, and I hope that you find it as satisfying as I did. Also, I made sure to keep all lines curved, like anywhere where there may have been a harsh corner I sort of curved it out just to keep the look looking more flowy and natural. Yeah, it got a bit tedious, so hope you enjoy. This video was so challenging to film because I was constantly out of frame, bending my neck around just to get into position to draw the lines properly and leaning on the table, so if I'm out of frame, that's why. In this clip I'm just trying to tell you that I turned my camera off and carried on with some of the makeup, so here is where I got to. After every piece of white line work I basically just paired it with some black line work and switched around the thickness of the lines. And basically that's it. I don't know what else to tell you. Here I'm just filling in the space on the eye with white and not bringing down the line work pattern onto it because we're going to do something with eyeshadow later on. The original look was created using oil or cream paints, but I felt like I wanted to go in with water-based paints so that it was easier to keep the contrast of white and black and not have any mixing of greys. However, this did end up cracking towards the end when I added more mediums on top of it, but it was alright, to be honest. I can't even tell you how long this took. I was so happy when I finished the line work. Then I'm just using my James Charles X Morphe palette and going in on the eyes with a black shade just to create a bit of like shadow and dimension as if there's eyeshadow on the lids. I then took that same black shade and did a bit of contouring / shadowing on the nose area, and then I also took this up onto my temples and all the areas I would normally contour or bronze. The shadowing really brings together this look and it makes it look more three-dimensional rather than flat and just lines really, and I feel like it makes it look way more trippier, so I love how this turned out. Then in the original makeup look, the creator uses some purples, pinks and yellows to add like blusher / highlight to the face, so I'm just going in with these shades from my James Charles palette. The pink didn't really pick up, so it did just end up being purple and yellow, but I like how it turned out. I do feel like my decision to use water-based face paints affected how the shadows stuck to the skin, so if you are going to recreate this, do bear this in mind. And then for lips, I've just gone in with the Milani black lipstick, and here I'm just sticking on some fake eyelashes that I had. To add a pop of colour to the lips, I'm just adding a bright pink eyeshadow with my finger to the centre of the black. And this is the finished look. I really hope you enjoyed watching, and I was so tired by this point and I took it straight off.